if a company is thinking about where can I ask for specific AI technologies that I want to that I could integrate in my products. If they have such a question, then they should first think about our university as the first contact point. We also want to achieve regular successful AI-related startups coming from university, founded by Mitarbeiter, by employees, and by students of the university. And well, we certainly also want to help the region develop into something which we would call a leading AI location. So make the region of Lübeck, maybe the Hansebelt region as the wider area, to become one of the leading AI locations. How do we do that? What is our strategy to achieve these goals? Well, first, coming to the basics, we have it's hard to decide that, but at least we plan to strengthen all kinds of third-party funded basic research, especially from the Deutsche Forschungsgemeinschaft. And this is already, well, I'm coming to the state of to the current state a bit later, so I don't say too much about how well this works. But the plan here clearly is to strengthen the base of all further activities, which is basic research, more or less. Yeah? So many more basic research projects than we had so far. Second, we want to create new AI study programs, also a bit more on this, and especially at least one AI module, let's say an AI application module for all other study programs. We consider this very important to integrate this basic knowledge into all other programs. Together with the other partners on the Biomedtech campus in Lübeck, we work on all kinds of support for startups, and we have the idea to create specific support in terms of people, in terms of infrastructures for people who want to create startups somehow related to artificial intelligence. We have written a few project proposals here, which would set up such a specific AI startup infrastructure. Well, and then certainly something which is related to transfer. We would like to put massive support of transfer to the economy. So our goal is to put artificial intelligence on the street. So not only basic research, but whatever comes out of our basic research projects and is becoming more, let's say, application-oriented research or even development. The university plans to support this as well as this is possible. Yeah? And the project which I already mentioned, the Kai-6 project, this is especially the goal of this project to put AI medical and medical technology solutions on the street to make it available. Well, creating an infrastructural environment, meaning especially for the university or for the intern organization of the university to create something which brings people together and which helps people to work together, to do research together, to create new study programs together, and so on. Yeah, that's the goal here. How does the implementation look like? Well, we have for instance created a roadmap for new AI-related professorships. A few in more basic research, a few others more in applications, and also in fields which are not exactly or not immediately technical fields or fields of applications, but for instance in psychology, artificial emotions and things like this. These could be interesting things at a university like ours. And here we have a clear plan, as typical with such things. And these are quite hard to achieve. If we were in Bavaria or in other southern German Bundesländer, it would be much easier because creating let's say 100 new professorships in this and that seems to be quite easy in Bavaria and surrounding counties. In in northern Germany, it's much harder, and we have to fight for the resources very much for establishing new fields here. So having a plan is not bad. Realizing the plan is much harder, but you never know. From time to time, there's a surprise. There's some money available, and when you have a plan, then it's good. Yeah, pull it out of the pocket, and you can. It's much easier to realize such possibilities. Yeah, building DFG basic research from bottom up. I talked about this already. Then we decided to have also, let's say, something like a geographic focus point of the activities of the AI activities at our university. So we decided that it would be good to have something which we would call a house of AI. Yeah, so a building more or less for AI. I'll talk about this a bit later again, twice actually, because there might even be new developments on that. Then we said it would be good to have an AI lab, so hardware infrastructure, and hardware meaning computing power and robotics, which can be used for experiments, which can be used for studies, for teaching, and so on. Certainly, the university already had quite a few resources in this respect, but not really bundled and very much distributed. And we thought it would be a good idea to create something which is more integrated in this respect. Yeah, and then that was probably the first thing that we thought about. It would be good to have something like an AI center for medicine and medical technology. And second thing is, second thought here was, it would be even better if this is not restricted to Lübeck, but would be something which is related to all over northern Germany. And actually, to be honest, it was more or less the other way around. We first decided to apply for the Chi-6 project, which basically implements this center now, and then thought, well, this looks very much like a fantastic opportunity to create something much bigger in the northern German area than just something very regional, restricted to Lübeck. Why is this important? Why is this good? Well, most of you know, and that's probably also the reason why you're here. Everything related to medicine, related to health, healthcare, and so on, is a very strong branch in the northern German industry, northern German economy, and it makes a lot of sense to look at the things that you are strong at and try everything to keep this things strong. Yeah, it's very hard to let's say to lose economically, to lose something in which you are very strong, and then having to set up something completely new. Let's say a new branch where you are good at. It's much easier to keep your leadership in a specific branch, like medical technology, for instance. And we thought about what would we need in order to keep the good position of the northern German medical technology industry. And quite obviously, one thing is that you need to integrate artificial intelligence solutions into products and services, and that's more or less than the motivation for the Chi-6 project. And northern Germany is not only Lübeck; it's also Kiel, it's also Hamburg and Bremen, and also Rostock and related areas. And we started this center with the big universities in Kiel and Hamburg and Bremen, and our university, and a number of companies, and now are in the process of setting this up to really become such an important research and transfer center. Foundation network, that's maybe not such a good translation. So it's more or less it's a startup network that we thought about here, and also very important in all that we are doing in terms of artificial intelligence. We we also always keep the ethical thing in mind, and we have created together with, and especially initiated by Christian Herzog, the Ethical Innovation Hub, one of the important non-technical initiatives at our university. Okay, a few words to the AI Lab and to DFKI. The goal of AI Lab is equipping the University of Lübeck with AI computing powers and power and robotics hardware. I said this already. First of all, we in the process of setting this up, we actually won a big project from the BMBF, Bundesforschungsministerium, one of the big AI lab projects with a few million euros. And this project gave us, among others, the opportunity to buy a really very good NVIDIA machine, the DGX2. But apart from this, we just announced this yesterday. We also bought a second machine, which is much better and has a much more computing power than the one before. So the university and the institutes working on artificial intelligence, they more or less put their resources together and bought this new machine. So we now are more or less the first Northern German university who's running this this new supercomputer from NVIDIA, which will be available next month, mid of July probably. Well, we could have had it already now, but you know that from 1st of July, the Mehrwertsteuer will be reduced from 19% to 16%, so it will become even a bit cheaper. So we decided it's good to wait a little and save some money. Yeah, more or less, this is definitely our technical base. So the whole AI lab, but especially this machine now is more or less a technical base for cutting edge research and definitely also state-of-the-art AI teaching and training. Second thing, the DFKI, Deutsche Forschungszentrum für Künstliche Intelligenz. We were very happy when at the beginning of March, beginning of May, the board of the DFKI decided to establish new locations of the DFKI, and one of these locations will be in Lübeck, especially concentrated on medicine and medical technology. Yeah, that will be our focus in this project, and we'll have in this location of DFKI, at least that's what we are currently planning. We'll have 3 working groups. As I said, concentrating on medicine, medical technology, and the motto more or less will be something like see, hear, reason, and act. So we have we'll have a group which works on seeing. That will be the group of organized by Heinz Handels from our university. Then we have a group which will concentrate on hearing, group of Alfred Mertins, and finally the group which works on reasoning and acting, Ralf Möller from the Institute of Information Systems, who's one of our basic researchers in artificial intelligence. That's the setup that we plan to have here. The nice thing is that the project will be funded by the Schleswig-Holstein government by 1 million euro per year for the first 3 years, this will give us the opportunity to both start with a number of research projects in this respect, and second also develop this location of the DFKI. We start first with let's say with accommodation of the group on the institute's own premises. So we won't have new rooms on this, but after, let's say, the first phase, if it's successful, then we think about a number of other possibilities. Very briefly, a few words on the current state of everything. So we currently have a house of AI, which we rented on the Biomedtech campus. It's actually in MFC 2. For those of you who are familiar with the campus, we have at the university founded the Center for AI, which is more or less the organizational structure of the whole thing, where we bring together our researchers. And actually we have, I think, meanwhile, we have something like 20 institutes organized in this center, most of them computer science, but also a number of medical institutes in this center. And it's well, it's more or less a neutral center in terms of applications, but certainly it will also work a lot in medical and medical technology technologies. Then we have the Chi6 project. We won the competition. Actually, I have no idea what is missing here, what the P means, but what I wanted to write here, and this is actually something which I wrote by hand and somehow obviously deleted it again. At least it's we are one of the projects who won the competition, and the project just started 1st of April and has just begun its operation. Then the project Chi Lab, where we also won the competition and got the 2 million euro financing. I talked about this. We also have, meanwhile, have a number of several large individual research projects from the Deutsche Forschungsgemeinschaft. So a lot of money currently coming in for AI basic research from the DFG for several of our professors. What we would like to have and what we will be looking for and what we are going to organize is an application for DFG collaborative research, something like a Forschergruppe, for instance, or maybe in a few years, I think I don't know who's familiar with collaborative research on DFG level, but we are probably not yet able to apply for something like a Sonderforschungsbereich. There we have to do a lot more basic work before we can do that. But in a few years, we believe that we should be able to apply for something also here. Foundation, startup support, and we also have the Ethical Innovation Hub. A few words as concerning an outlook. We are always interested in further financing. We think about stabilization. We want to so Chi6 is a project which will run for 3 years, and we have a few ideas of how we can make this a much more stable project, a real northern German center for medical AI research. But for this, we need some financing, and one of the goals of the Chi6 project will be to look into these ideas and see what is possible and how this can become a more stable situation than it is at the moment. Then we also talked about thematic priorities. I'm always talking about medicine, medical technologies, but we also have very strong research in autonomous systems, for instance, where AI could also play a major role. And I already also talked about digital administration. So our state government, the government of Schleswig-Holstein, they put very much hope in the University of Lübeck to develop digital administration, e-government solutions. And we probably will also put a lot of effort in this in terms of artificial intelligence, digital urban development, keyword here, smart city, also definitely a clear point for putting AI solutions on that. And then certainly we are interested in a cooperation with the region, for instance, with the Biometech campus in Lübeck, with the Wirtschaftsförderung Lübeck. I like the translation, Lübeck Economic Development, die Wirtschaftsförderung, and certainly also the IHK. I've seen a few of the colleagues here, Sinja, for instance, also being on the talk. We are very much interested in at least from our point, from the stuff that we are doing at the university, to bring that even more into the region and together develop something new. We have started here, as I talked about this already, we have started a few things in terms of startup support, but there's certainly a lot more things we can do together, and the university will be very happy to cooperate with all partners on the Biometech campus, but also in the whole Lübeck and Hansebelt region. I think there will be very interesting possibilities we could follow. Talking about the one final remark here, talking about the building. So we have rented 2 or 3 floors in this MFC2, which is by far too small for all the activities, and we have just applied or just made a proposal for a new building on the Biometric campus for an KI building, KI Gebäude, AI building, which could integrate all the activities. And you know, at least again, many of you know that there will be a new EFRE phase in starting in well, not long from now. And we decided to ask or to propose the idea of having an own building for the AI activities. And well, we believe that the chances might even not be too bad, and this would really be an excellent new solution for bundling all our activities. Okay, I think that's more or less it. If you want to, I'll stay here for the breakout roundtables. And if you want to get in touch with me afterwards, here's my contact data. Actually, I never gave my WebEx address here because usually I don't have WebEx running all the time. But I usually get a mail when someone is waiting in my private WebEx room. So we could even try this. If you want to have a video chat with me, just try this address, and maybe 3 or 4 minutes later, I'll even be there in my room. Thanks for listening. Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, thank you very much for this talk, for this nice summary of activities.